heart. We are at about 20 minutes to go till the top of the hour. And with me, I do have Rene Moodley. She's looking absolutely beautiful this morning. We're having a conversation about her business. And of course, she is our winner. That's why we're having this conversation, because we were at an event. Radio K Pulpit was blessed to be invited to Christian Women in Business event, and boom, Rene was a winner. And that is why we're having this conversation. Rene, how are you this morning?
Hi, TC. It's so good to be here. I'm great, thank you. Very excited. Thank you for having me. But I can't see your beautiful face though, so a little bit sad
Oh, let
about
me
that.
put my video on. Okay, there's my video. Come on, video. Sure, my video is, it's giving me problems, but I'm gonna figure it out as we go on. So please don't mind me. I am definitely on video, and I can
Okay.
see you. So Renee, tell us, take us back. To River Wild. Interesting name, River Wild Consultants. What inspired you to start the company in 2018?
Okay, so I'll start with the name because it's actually a question that I get quite a lot.
Mm.
And you probably know the song Open Heaven, River Wild. So
Mm.
when I think of that and I think of the image of a river just flowing, over rocks, through obstacles, over and around, and through everything that it
Mm.
needs to go to get to where it eventually needs to land up, it sparked such an incredible, joy inside of me to
Mm.
just, it reminded me of, how our life is and how everything is and how we've just got to keep moving no matter
Mm.
what is in our path, no matter the obstacles that come around. And
Mm.
so that's what inspired the name. That's why I called it River Wild Consultants. And it's because that's basically what I do. I love helping individuals and people in businesses and companies, organizations to
Mm.
actually overcome challenges and obstacles and reach their goals, whether it's their personal and professional goals or their revenue goals. Most importantly, speaking from a
Absolutely.
sales perspective.
Yes.
And, as you mentioned, the inspiration for that TC really came quite early on in my career because I
Mm.
discovered that very often people are, or they find themselves in sales roles, but they never really thought that's what they were going to do. I mean, if you ask somebody in school now, what do you want to be when you grow up? How many people are going to say to you, I want to be a salesperson, right? Probably
It's not
not that
gonna
many,
happen.
okay? Probably not. You're probably going to hear, I want to be a fashion designer and create beautiful clothing, or I want to be an engineer and design something, But life has often got other plans, and people have to end up selling what they create because a fashion designer will still need to get their beautiful clothing stocked in a store, in a retail outlet. Or if they open their own boutique, they're still going to have to sell to a consumer. So I
Mm.
found there was this massive need for people who were following their dreams and people that were ending up in roles where they had so much knowledge and so much expertise, but they just didn't understand the sales process.
Yeah.
How do I sell? Where do I start? What is it all about? How do I create a pipeline? How do I manage that? How do I set goals? How do I speak to people?
Mm.
And yeah, that's really what inspired me to start it. And I also, discovered very early on the massive impact that training and education can actually have on your revenue in a company. So I would train, our retailers and our stockists and do a lot of education. And they basically become an extension of your sales force. And when they are as excited about your product as you are, your product is the first one they're going to recommend to a consumer when they have a question. So the
Mm.
impact of somebody truly understanding sales and product knowledge and combining everything together has a massive impact on revenue. And yeah, so I'm all about helping people, empowering them, providing those skills, sales skills, presentation skills, and then confidence and communication coaching as well.
Mm. So special. And I love that it is tailored to something that is so specific, such as sales, and like you're saying, how to build that revenue. So you offer these interactive workshops that can be conducted online, for teams across various locations. How do you then tailor these workshops to meet the specific needs of different businesses?
So we start with a very in-depth consultation with the business and we assess what their challenges are, what their needs are, what their goals are, and essentially where they would like to be within a specific amount of time. Where would you like to be 3 months from now? Where would you like to be a year from now? And then we basically work backwards and we get to a very granular level of what needs to be done in that specific business and industry from a training and development perspective to help you
Mm,
actually achieve those goals. So, TC, sometimes you would enroll in a sales course and perhaps your team doesn't need to know about lead generation and they don't need to know about prospecting because they've
mm,
been there, they've done that, they're experienced salespeople. They probably need, coaching or training on something different, maybe analyzing the specific market, understanding the competitors a little bit better, understanding perhaps considering different route to market strategies, maybe working on some negotiation skills and different types of training.
yeah.
So, what I then do is I work very closely with the management team to understand the industry really well, the specific examples of challenges that people are going through in a specific industry. There's no blanket approaching it. It would be specific examples. And then we meet your team where they're at. So if they need to start at the beginning and do lead generation, prospecting, pipeline funnels, we do that. If they're sort of at the end, at the more advanced side, then we work on the more advanced sales techniques and we tailor absolutely everything to the industry as well. So the specific industry and the resources that the company has.
Wow. So well thought out, and properly put together. Now, as a former TV presenter yourself, you're aware of the impact of voice, tone, and expression. How do you emphasize non-verbal communication in your training?
Oh, that is such a good question. So now you've put me in my zone, TC. You're gonna have to try.
Bring
You're
it,
gonna have to
sister.
try and get me to stop talking. Yeah, so you probably have heard people say this, and you hear me say it all the time. You cannot sell if you cannot tell, right? So we
Mm,
have all this incredible product knowledge, we know how to sell, but if the tone in our voices isn't right, people remember creating impressions, or we creating impressions all the time. People see you, they hear you for 5 seconds, and they already think, okay, I don't believe she's confident. I don't believe this person's competent. I wonder if they really know what they're talking about. And that's just based on the way that you sound. I mean,
mm,
let's be honest, right? I mean, you probably get as many calls. We all get every day, cold calls from insurance companies or, call centers trying
yep.
to sell us something, right? How
Mm,
often do you actually give the person on the phone the chance to tell you about their product? Or are you mostly like, "Ah, I'm kind of busy right now, thanks, but I'm not interested," and put the phone down, right?
pretty
That
much all the
happens to
time.
me all the time. Exactly, exactly. And then there may be one in 100 times you'll get somebody who calls you, and it's just
Mm,
something about this person's voice, their even tone, their temperament, they
yeah.
sound knowledgeable. And you just, for every now and then, you'll give somebody that extra minute and you'll go,
Mm,
okay, tell me
mm.
about, and you'll
They
let
don't,
them
you
finish
know
what
what we
they say.
say? They don't sound salesy, they don't sound
Yes.
salesy.
They don't sound salesy. They sound human. They sound warm. They
Mm,
sound confident. They sound, they're like somebody that you want to talk to. And so
mm,
that's exactly it, because so much of what we do nowadays is really focused on call centers. I mean, we have such a high unemployment rate in our country,
yep.
especially amongst the youth. And there's so
Mm,
many opportunities for people to work in call centers and do these sort of sales jobs,
mm,
especially ones where there's only commission. But people get so demotivated, they become so
mm,
demoralized because they can't make the sales. It's horrible. They can feel so scary,
yeah.
contacting a client for the first time, especially when everyone's literally putting the phone down on you, right?
Mm,
That's what's happening. And so what I try to focus on is getting everyone to let go of those fears and actually
mm,
focus on your voice, focus on your tone, learn how to use vocal variety, learn breathing
mm,
techniques so you just sound better, less stressed.
mm,
Like you say, you sound like a real person, like a friend, not
yeah.
like someone that just wants to get through their script and sell
Mm,
you something. So we focus on that, from a tone and expression point of view. And then in person as well, part of sales means going and pitching in front of people, being in the public eye, doing a sales pitch, doing a presentation. And again, from your physical appearance, people are judging you. Does she
Yeah.
look confident? Does he look confident? His posture looks a
Mm,
little bit hunched. He's walking very like nervously. He's fidgeting with his fingers. She's looking nervous. All of those kinds of things. And
mm,
you could be the most knowledgeable person in the room. But I mean,
mm,
all of these little habits that we have, when it comes to voice and tone and expression, sometimes it just creates a different impression.
mm.
And so I really like helping people, and that's what's quite different about the courses and the training that I do, is that it's not just about the product knowledge, it's not just about the sales aspect, but let's also focus on getting you to look and feel confident in the way that you sound and in the way that you show up.
I love that. I love that. Now, with the growing need for customization in training, how do you see the landscape of sales and business development development training evolving through the years or over time, and also how is Riverwild Consultants positioned for this?
So we are actually, also doing pre-recorded courses where people can sort of listen on demand for the fundamentals. Okay, so you get the
Mm,
fundamentals of sales, of presentation skills, of public speaking, confidence, all of that. So we are busy with that as well because there is a market that needs that. And then in terms of the customization, definitely there's a market because I mean, right now we are submerged in this world of AI, right? It's
mm.
taking over everything. And TC, as well as I do that we're all starting to sound like clones of each other, right? We want to know something and we all go into the exact same place and we ask AI to
Mm-hmm.
help us to do something,
Mm-hmm.
to create a social media post,
Mm-hmm.
to write a speech for us, to do all of these things. And in the process, we're losing a lot of our individuality and our voices as well. And so the thing about customization is really then bringing it back, to the basics, coming back and finding out what a business really needs because your challenges may not be the same as mine.
Yeah.
Your experiences may not be the same as mine. And so we go back again, and the way that we were able to do this so effectively is because we've embraced obviously online technology
Mm.
and the courses are super interactive. And so what we do is we break it down over, say, for example, 5 days, depending on what you need, and you do 2 hours a day over 5 days. So it doesn't feel like, you're sitting in a classroom for hours and hours every day for 3 days or 5 days or 2 days and just, studying. You get to go away, you get to do a little bit of coursework, and you get to come back the next day and talk about it. So even though we're doing it online, you still feel like you're very much present and very much part of it. And that's why it actually works because we're able to do so much more online. So you save the time of driving to a venue or of us driving to a venue or of you driving to a venue for training or making yourself available in a space. You literally log on at your desk where you are and we conduct the training that way. So obviously utilizing online technology, we're able to do so much more, train so many more people, fit into the schedules of an organization as well. And then if it's required, we do obviously the in-person training as well. So we're fully equipped to do that too. And yeah, we're just embracing technology and getting through all of it, satisfying everyone's needs and schedules as we go along.
Absolutely. And making it accessible, I think that's very, very profound and needed and necessary. So, in ending, please share your contact details with us, social media handles, if one is looking for Riverwild consultants to assist them in their business, where can they reach you?
Okay, so the website is riverwcorporate.com. And if you go on there, you will find obviously a link to my website, a link to my Instagram page, the LinkedIn page, obviously phone number and email address as well. And if you want to go into Instagram, it's at riverwildcorp. So yeah, and then from there as well, there's links taking you everywhere so that you can reach me.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We really bless your business and may it reach greater heights, and may God just open doors for you that you cannot even imagine. And may He just extend your territory and your reach. Thank you so much, Rene Moodley. Wishing you the best for the future.
Thank you so much, TC. It was really a pleasure. Thank